Yes, John Cena and CM Punk are your two top champions on Monday Night Raw. And no, this is not 2013. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. My name is Travis. Thank you for checking out this video. We got some things to talk about, my friends. My gosh, what a night. What a night on Monday Night Raw. If you missed it this week, it was in Boston, Massachusetts, which, of course, is the stomping grounds of John Cena. John Cena comes out. He's getting the hometown reception, all the love you want to see. Dominic Mysterio ends up interrupting. I'm going to paraphrase a lot of things here, 'cause this could take a long time if I go through every single step. But Dominic Mysterio comes out there, and I want to say this. I absolutely loved the way Dominic Mysterio came across on Monday Night Raw. He didn't look like the cowardly Dominic Mysterio. He came out there. He was saying things with his chest, hitting John Cena with some one-liners. I thought Dominic did very well in that promo, but ultimately it leads to a match between John Cena and Dominic Mysterio for the IC title to start Monday Night Raw. Oh my God. And John Cena won. John Cena has become a Grand Slam champion. John Cena has like 3 days left on his tour, maybe 2. I can't remember at this point. All I know it's less than 5, and it's no more than 3. It's one of the, I don't know which one it is or how many dates are left, but he wins the Intercontinental Championship. I mean, he's just got a couple of more appearances left. There's a whole tournament going on right now about who will face John Cena in his final match. This is fun right now. I'm having a blast watching this. I was streaming Monday Night Raw, and I saw John Cena won, and I almost jumped out of my chair out of excitement. I'm just very happy with the way things have turned around, because at first, beginning of the year, when John Cena turned heel, things did not go well. And then now, sort of midway through, once he turned back into a babyface, he's been having a fantastic final run here. So let's get into some of the things that's going on around John Cena, right? He wins the Intercontinental Championship. He's got a couple of more dates left. I think he's wrestling at Survivor Series. I'm not sure at this point. I'm not sure. I do know, though, that he'll be wrestling next week at Madison Square Garden on Monday Night Raw. So that's a big-time show. That's a big-time match. I'm assuming he's going to have a match there. We all know he's wrestling for the final time December 13th on Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. That is his last match ever in WWE. There's a tournament going on right now about who will face John Cena in his final match. I do want to mention some of the things that's going on in the tournament, because at first I thought Dominic Mysterio would be in it. I thought Dominic Mysterio would be facing John Cena's final match for the IC title. That got sped up, or it's all the way up to what happened this past Monday Night on Raw. So that's not going to happen. I don't think Dominic gets a rematch against Cena at Saturday night's main event. I don't think they would go that route. I don't think Cena will be facing somebody twice during this last year that he's had. So that means I don't think Cena faces Brock. I don't think Cena faces Orton. I don't think Cena faces Sami Zayn. I don't think he faces anybody he's already faced. So I don't think he faces Dom. Now, that's not to say John Cena will hold that championship all the way to Saturday night's main event in his last match. I'm thinking there is a possibility here that John Cena loses that title next week on Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden. What if John Cena has a match next week where it's an open challenge, or what if we get a surprise or something happens? Usually for those Madison Square Garden shows, WWE likes to go above and beyond. And I can see that being the case here, especially with them promoting John Cena being there, mystery opponents for the tournament. I think next week's Raw is going to be a big show. So you could only imagine that maybe Cena holds an open challenge, or maybe somebody comes out and challenges him regardless for that title, and maybe Cena loses that title next week. Maybe it was just for him to win this past Monday Night on Raw, just to say that he's a Grand Slam champion, and he's got that another accomplishment under his belt, and then we can move forward. Because either way, if you have John Cena have him as champion, by the time Saturday night's main event rolls around, John Cena has already been hinting at things like he's going to leave this business better than the way he found it, and it's about showcasing younger upcoming talent, where it kind of gives it away that he's going to lose the IC title to somebody if he wrestles for that title on December 13th. So in my mind, I think it's better to have him lose it beforehand. If he loses it next week on Monday Night Raw, it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, it was cool to see him win the championship. He had that moment. It was in Boston, his final time wrestling in Boston. I thought that's a great moment. I wouldn't go back and take that back. I like that. I like that happened. But it also could be a very big moment for somebody else next week on Monday Night Raw if he were to just lose that title to somebody at Madison Square Garden, his final time wrestling in New York. And if he doesn't lose it there, maybe he loses it at Survivor Series if he wrestles at Survivor Series. Let's talk about the tournament itself. There's so many mystery opponents going on right now, both on Raw and on SmackDown. And one thing I found interesting is that LA Knight has a mystery opponent, and I don't think WWE would have LA Knight face a mystery opponent unless it meant that LA Knight's losing that match. Because why would you have a mystery opponent come in? Presumably, it would be a big name or a surprise name, a name that would get the crowd all pumped up and hype. Why would that be the case where he would just beat that person? I think LA Knight's going to lose that match in the tournament. And honestly, LA Knight doesn't need this match against John Cena to be his final opponent. He's already faced John Cena before. He's already been involved with John Cena before in a storyline a year or two ago. So LA Knight doesn't really need that right now. What LA Knight needs is a little bit of direction. He needs to figure out what's going on with himself. WWE needs to know what's going on with him. I think, because I saw something about him getting cut off during his promo during commercials on Monday Night Raw, I think that was planned. I don't think they were just messing with him or burying him or whatever. I think we're lining up here for an LA Knight pipe bomb, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think LA Knight's been going through months, maybe even years of frustration with WWE being so close to winning or getting these pushes, then these stops, these pushes, then stops. I think he's had chances to win titles that he's been screwed out of. He's getting cut off during promos now. I think all this is building into frustration where he's going to drop a pipe bomb on WWE, Triple H, Adam Pearce, somebody. Somebody's going to get it, and I think LA Knight's going to do it. And I don't know when it's going to be, but I think this is all building towards it. I want to say that this is all kind of a work and that it's being planned. I don't think any of this is legitimately burying him. And I think it's going to kind of do the wonders of like what it did for CM Punk. He's a popular fan favorite, but when he hits that pipe bomb, that's when he's really going to go crazy and skyrocket his popularity even more. And then maybe he can have a little bit more of a heel side to himself. So I think LA Knight is eliminated in that first match in that tournament, but I think there's bigger things for LA Knight to come. A couple of names in that tournament now we got to pay attention to. Gunther has been introduced or announced as an opponent, or in a match, I should say. I don't think you bring Gunther back for him to lose this tournament. Right away, I'm thinking, well, now Gunther has to win the tournament. I don't know. I was excited to see Javon Evans is in there from NXT, and then immediately gets shut down by, he's facing Gunther. I'm like, well, there goes that. So I think Gunther is a heavy favorite right now. I'm going to catch a little heat for this, I think, but I wouldn't be mad if Cena's final opponent was Sheamus. Sheamus is also somebody chasing the Grand Slam championship. I saw something that John Cena won his first title, or Sheamus won his first title, I should say, against John Cena, and it was on December 13th of like 2009 or something like that. And how fitting would it be for Sheamus to beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship, or to at least beat John Cena in his final match on December 13th of 2025? I think that'd be kind of cool and poetic. I like Sheamus. I've always loved Sheamus. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he's one of the most underrated, overlooked Hall of Famers on the active roster right now. This guy's had a Hall of Fame career through and through, and he was around the same time he came in. One of his biggest rivals was John Cena. I mean, you don't have to say Cena's one of the biggest rivals was Sheamus, but you can definitely say one of Sheamus's biggest rivals was John Cena. I think that'd be a cool thing to see, and I wouldn't even be mad if it came down to Gunther versus Sheamus to determine who goes on to face John Cena in that final match. I think that would be kind of fun. So I would like to say my two favorites right now, without knowing any of the mystery opponents, I would like to say it's Gunther or it's Sheamus. But if I had to choose between the two, I love Gunther, but I've been saying it for a while. I still want to see Sheamus versus John Cena one more time. So I'm going to go Sheamus. I have to mention a couple other things that happened on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie Vaquer had Nikki Bella turn on her, which I think a lot of people saw coming. I mean, I've mentioned it on these videos before. I had predicted, though, that Nikki would turn on Stephanie, and then she would be in the Wargames match on the heel side, and Stephanie would be on the women's face side. Because Maxine's getting a championship match, next week on Raw and not Survivor Series like I had originally thought. I'm thinking maybe now, instead of the Maxine versus Becky match at Survivor Series that I thought originally, maybe that's where we get Breakker versus Nikki Bella. Maybe they're not in the Wargames match. There's still a space for it. They still could do that. There's one spot in the Wargames match for on both women on both sides of the women's teams. There's an empty space. There's an empty spot. So I could easily see it being Nikki on one side and Breakker on the other. But now I'm starting to think maybe for that women's Wargames match, maybe Becky Lynch joins the heel side and AJ Lee joins the babyface side. Maybe AJ Lee is in there with Io and Rhea and Charlotte and Bliss, and maybe Becky is in there with the Kabuki Warriors, Lash Legend, which I love this for her, and Nia Jax, and maybe Becky is in there in that match. So maybe that's the two teams we get for the women's Wargames matches. Adam Pearce announces the Wargames match. Well, I guess William Regal did, and Adam Pearce just made it official for the men's. And so far for the men's, we know it's Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk. Which, if you've seen my other videos, this is sort of the team. This is the team I've put together. Except I had John Cena in the men's Wargames, and now I don't know if Cena will be in there now that he's the IC champ. He still could. You still could put Cena in that match, and I wouldn't be mad if he does, because I've been saying that I want to see Cena wrestle in a Wargames match because he never has before, and if this is his last year, I would like to see him perform in one, but I could understand now that he's IC champ that maybe he won't. So I think if we're going to go forward here, I still think Jimmy finds his way in this match. I think maybe LA Knight finds his way in this match somehow to be on the men's good guy side with CM Punk. And then for the heels, you got the Vision, Logan Paul, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed. I still think Brock Lesnar will be in this match. And I think Drew McIntyre will be in this match, especially since Cody now is on the other side of it. I know Drew was suspended indefinitely or whatever it was, but I could see a situation where he comes back or they allow him back for this match. I see Brock and Drew joining the heels, and then I could see LA Knight and Jimmy joining the baby faces unless John Cena is in that match or unless Roman Reigns is in there. But I don't know. I'm kind of not feeling like Roman Reigns is going to make it for this match. One last thing. I don't like what's going on with Breakker and Reed right now, specifically Breakker. Bron Breakker made the decision to break up or kick out Seth Rollins from the Vision. He speared him. He attacked him. He looked at Bronson Reed, gave him an ultimatum, said, "You're with me or you're not." And he said the same thing to Paul Heyman, which they both joined Bron Breakker. And then the following week, Bron Breakker has the World Heavyweight Championship around his shoulder, sunglasses on. This guy looks like $1 million. They take the title away from him. Obviously, he's not the champ. So they took the title away from him. And then they said, no, you're not in the number one contenders battle royal match. Okay? I don't think Bron Breakker is even in this tournament to face John Cena. I don't know what they're doing with Bron Breakker. And now it's all the way down to you kicked out one leader of Seth Rollins to now it looks like Logan Paul has been positioned to be the new leader of the Vision, which I don't really like. I'm not a fan of this for multiple reasons. I thought this should be Bron Breakker's. And now Bron Breakker has gone all the way down to being Logan's lackeys, and I don't like that. We haven't even heard Bron Breakker cut promos. He's not doing anything. He's not in tournaments. He's not in battle royals. What are we doing? I know you got to be patient for some things, and I know if he's in the Wargames match, that's big for Breakker, but I don't think Breakker should be in someone else's shadow, especially when he just got out of someone's shadow in Seth Rollins. To me, that doesn't really make too much sense. All right, my friends, I appreciate you checking out this video. Hey, do me a favor, please give this video a like. It does me a huge favor. It gets out to other people who don't know this channel. And of course, our goal here as a community on this channel at Wicked Bitter, we want to get all the WWE fans in here with us. We want more people here with us because this is the place to be if you enjoy WWE content. I'm posting it every single week. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't yet. Leave your comments down below. What do you think the rest of the Wargames matches will be? Map it out for me. Let me know what you think Becky will be doing, who John Cena's last opponent will be, who do you think the favorite of the tournament will be, who do you think the mystery opponents will be in the tournament. I would love to know your thoughts. But until then, my friends, have a good rest of your week. I will see you on the next video, and until we yeet again, as always, stay bitter.